You know you're doing the intro, right?
He does now.
Hello, welcome to Life and Games. Today, Cameron, we're talking about some stuff, and we're talking about some video games we're excited about. Why don't you tell me what's got your jimmies all fired up?
That one's a pretty easy one. It's obviously Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild 2!
Or, as Nintendo is putting it, the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. They refuse to call it Breath of the Wild 2.
Uh-huh.
And they've also gone so far as to say that the title of the next game is a spoiler.
Oh.
Which is kind of insane to think about. They have an internal title decided. Mm-hmm. They very well have art decided. They have everything ready. Mm-hmm. They just don't want to tell us what it's called because it's going to spoil an aspect of the game.
Interesting, but the thing is, when you see the game on the shelf...
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, eventually they're going to have to, but I don't know if... I don't know what that means. That's such a weird thing.
That's a bold strategy. Let's see if it works out for him.
Right, it's like, are they just gonna like ship the game with like redacted text on the
He
part?
dies.
No, so...
Legend of Zelda, Dumbledore dies.
We should probably bleep that out. I'm sure there's somebody out there who hasn't seen it.
No! My 10-year-old movie is ruined.
10, way older than 10, my guy.
The last Harry Potter?
We're just trying to feel young.
Oh, sure, yeah. Oh, I guess.
I don't know. It's like
Tangent,
the Harry Potter
anyways.
show. No, but Breath of the Wild 2, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, they actually did show us something at E3, which I kind of was not expecting. It was about the size I expected if they were going to show it, which is here's a 1.5-minute long trailer. Mm-hmm. But that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough to get the juices
plenty.
going.
Oh my gosh. I am so... I'm excited!
I can tell. He's shaking the whole set.
Listen, Breath of the Wild 1 was like probably the greatest video game to come out in the last 10 years. Like, no cap. Yeah. Skyrim? Nah.
Have you ever played Apex?
Get out of here!
Bro.
What are you talking about?
Jimmy's Russell.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm not going to contend it.
Think about...
What?
Think about all of... Okay, as far as the video game
it.
industry goes, aside from the Battle Royale genre, which I don't think anybody's out here like, yeah, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, GOAT. Mm-hmm. No, it was the iterativeness. But Zelda came out and it changed everything. Every game wants to be Zelda. Horizon 2 wants to be Zelda. Phoenix Rising, whatever that game's called, was straight up Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
Genshin Impact is a Zelda clone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it has changed everything, where any open world game that doesn't do what Zelda does is not good enough anymore.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, Skyrim kind of did the same thing, right? Everybody wanted to be Skyrim.
Right.
Now everybody wants to be Breath of the Wild.
Heck, even Nintendo came out and said they played a buttload of Skyrim while they were making Breath of the Wild.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, it shows. They take what works and they make it better. And Breath of the Wild was just... When I heard about the original game, when they said, yeah, your weapons are going to break and your everything is going to be like really disposable, I was kind of upset because as a longtime Zelda fan, you're used to go in dungeon, get item, use item in dungeon. And this game totally changed the mold, but it was so good.
Yeah.
And the trailer they showed off, some things they're adding, they've got the bases now for the moblins are on enemies. Which is like...
Oh, yeah.
They had the giant boulder dude with, like, the camp on him. And they showed...
I'm not sure that's all of them, though, right?
Not all of them, but it's something.
Yeah.
It's something interesting. And the big thing they're doing this time is they're elevating part of the plane so that you're doing more stuff in the sky.
Oh.
Which is, like, kind of weird. When the first shot in the trailer gives you some real Skyward Sword vibes. Mm-hmm. And it's just beautiful. Like, the cell shading... That decision is going to carry them forever. Yeah. The game will never look dated.
Right.
And I'm just very excited. Very excited. I'm upset that it's 2022, but I can wait.
Yeah,
I've waited this long.
We wait for good games.
Yes.
That's for sure.
A good game is good.
Now, the only thing that makes me wonder, like, why we're waiting until 2022, it's not like they had to rebuild the entire game.
No.
Like, for Breath of the Wild... we had to wait so long because they had to actually build all the assets and design the world and everything.
And they had to reformat it for the Switch. It was supposed to be a Wii U game.
Right. So we pretty much had, what, let's just say conservative 65-70% of what you need already. You know, maybe 30% of just the new stuff, programming everything. Why do you think we're going to have to wait, 6 years? 5 years?
There's a big thing Nintendo is known for, and it is the Nintendo polish. It is what separates a game like Breath of the Wild from Skyrim.
Okay.
Skyrim, you can use a pot lid to clip through the wall. With Breath of the Wild, you are going to have a hard time finding something wrong with that game.
Okay.
As big as it is, there's no crazy glitches. I mean, everything is intentional. And to do that on that scale, it's incredibly impressive. The only other company I can think of that has done that is maybe Rockstar with GTA.
Right.
But, I mean, just the idea, that game world is huge.
Yeah.
And even if they're just taking all the assets from the first game, putting the same world in there with some new stuff, knowing them, that's not going to be good enough.
Right.
Like, they want to make a sequel, and they're taking their time to do it right.
Okay, that makes sense.
At least I hope.
Right. Well, I mean, 5 years in between, the first game and the second.
That's enough time. I don't know. I'm very excited. They showed off some of Link's new powers in the trailer. It appears that he can manipulate time.
Yeah, I mean,
which is, yeah,
good stuff. I mean, more than just stopping it, right, and building up inertia.
So that the what is it? Stasis mechanic is really cool. But now he's able to seemingly rewind time.
Yeah.
And the one thing they've been showing is they keep doing this rewind time stuff. I mean, even the first trailer, if you watch it backwards, it makes more sense backwards. The music sounds correct backwards. It's very weird. And in the new trailer, they show several things. They show you've got a spike boulder rolling towards Link. He stops it in time and reverses its trajectory. And it's not like with Stasis where he just whacks it a bunch of times and it just launches. It straight up goes backwards.
Yeah.
Also, they showed this little weird water drop animation.
Yeah.
Where he's like unfalling from the sky.
Right. He's like sort of going from the ground up and through like this bridge made of stone. And at first glance, if you're not paying attention, it's like, oh, he just kind of like wiggled through the stone. But you watch the animation and it looks like as he's going up, it's like he's going in reverse, like he had just fallen through, and he's going back up.
Yeah.
And if you see him as he comes like through the top, he's going up with his arms up like this, like if you were dropping through.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
I'm very curious to see how they're going to do all of this, because all we really know about it is they're awakening some character.
Probably Ganondorf.
Looks like Ganondorf. And there was some kind of seal on him, being the hand that Link has, and that is now on Link. So presumably he's free, whatever this Ganondorf character is. I don't know. There's too much mystery.
There's so much mystery. Okay, well, thank you guys for coming in. This has been Cameron's best or most hype prediction for E3 2020, well, in 2021 E3, released in 2022. If you liked what we had today, do all the YouTube stuff. You'll like and subscribe and sacrifice your firstborn and come on back. I love it.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.